How's it going, Coach Chris, Team Critical Bench? On the line with me today is John, and I'm going to get it right, Puskarich. And
you've been practicing.
I said it a couple of times in my head. John is on the line with us today, actually, for a couple of reasons, namely to speak about the 5th Annual Clearwater Super Natural. And if I'm right, John, you're a new head judge. Is that correct?
Yes, I've been competing going on 26 years, so I've been in the sport for a while. I have judged before, but and I'm blessed and honored that Ms. Dana asked me to be the head judge, at this amazing show.
Yeah, I mean that's just great, and we've I recently did another interview with one of the competitors, Kyle Stewart, who's competed in this show already. This will be his 3rd one, and we've participated and sponsored this event in the past, and just love it. And we're friendly with Dana, but it's just a great show. And I really enjoyed myself a few years ago when I was backstage and talking with everybody, and just a great group of people, positive. A lot of people busted their butts and came looking amazing, and the show's just getting bigger and better. And so I think it's awesome that they're bringing on somebody like you with your history. So fill the listeners in a little bit about all the shows and competitions that you've done over the years.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you the Reader's Digest short version.
Yeah. Like the 3 or 4 minute version. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I turned 50 this year. I'll be competing as a lifetime drug-free bodybuilder, and I've competed in almost every organization out there, and I just love the lifestyle. For me, getting on stage is just a tool. I love living the life of, health and fitness and wellness. And this year I turned 50, and I can honestly say, Chris, I'm in the best shape of my life. My first bodybuilding show was in 1990, and last year in 2015, I competed in 13 shows. And here's the kicker of all kickers, is last year, was my most successful outing of any year in a 26-year career. I had a lot of victories in the Masters and in the Open division and whatnot. So, I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I started out with the ANBC, the All Natural Bodybuilding Federation, and that was headed up by Bob Gormley. And also, I also competed out there in the NPC. That's also, home of the NPC out there as well. So, I grew up and started my career in a very bodybuilding-rich area of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So, now, as I just mentioned a few minutes earlier, I'm down here in the Panhandle of Florida.
Wow, yeah, we actually, it's funny because we had about a 5-minute conversation about where John lives in the Panama City area is actually in the central time zone, and I'm down here in Tampa, Clearwater, which is, in the East Coast, basically, in the East, and it was a little bit like of an eye-opening thing, wow.
Yeah. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. I bet you most of the listeners listening to this will be surprised to hear me say there are 2 time zones in Florida, guys.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad.
It never occurred to me. Just never occurred to me. So funny. But so, and I'm looking right now because I'm actually, the people listening are looking at pictures of you in competition and stuff, and
yes.
I'm looking at pictures going, this guy's 50?
Oh,
so
thank you very much.
What's your secret, man? Just in terms of just not maintaining your muscle mass, but just maintaining that kind of, you seem to be like the guy that's probably lean year-round. Is that right?
Yes. I will tell you my secret, okay, even though I look like a bodybuilder year-round, I don't do this for the stage. I do this for my well-being. I do this for my clarity of mind. I do this to be a better father. I do this to be a better human being. And for me, I use the show dates as motivational tools. You know how it is, Chris. Late at night, you open up the cupboards reaching for what's back there. Well, you know what? I've come to realize that, I'm at my best when I'm, drinking my water. I don't drink alcohol, but, just a lifestyle that's very conducive to my well-being. So when you ask me what is my secret, it is nothing that I do. Yes, I work out. Yes, I do my cardio. Yes, I ride my bike. Yes, I do all those things. But I will tell you this. If you were to say to me, John, you can either train for the rest of your life and not be concerned about anything for your look, health, and fitness, or you can go ahead and, eat clean, drink a lot of water, not exercise, and, just minimize and control your stress levels. As much as I love to train, Chris, I would let all that go and work on the inner part of my being. That is, in my opinion, that is the secret. I was just talking to a friend of mine from way back when. And God willing, if I'm on the planet another 20 years, Chris, people say, they start retiring around my age. I'm like thinking, retire? I'm in the best shape of my life, turning 50. I am honored and blessed. I can't wait for the next 10 years. And because I'll be honest with you, you know what, Chris, I wake up and my lower back's a little tight from this, that, and the other. But I can honestly say my metabolism, the way I look, the way I feel, is just as grand, if not better, than when I was 20 years old. And that's very powerful for me. So I know for me, the natural lifestyle, without a doubt, is the fountain of youth.
Wow. I mean, evidently. Yeah, I mean, you have a physique that I think most guys that, in their early 20s would just, be like, yeah, I'll take that. You know what I mean? And you could be their dad, which is just nuts, And now you have kids, you said.
Oh yeah. I got 3 kids, and wow. And they're my youngest are 8 and 11, and I'm that I could be grandpa's age, but I'm that guy at the park, I'm running with the kids. I'm not sitting on the park. Right. Go ahead, son, you got it. No, I'm out there they're hanging on me, and I'm doing pull-ups, and all the kids. Have you ever noticed little kids? They just are fascinated with muscle. Have you ever noticed that about kids? Yeah. So and I think because the human body is meant to move. The human body is meant to be agile and free. So anyways, I don't want to get too far off the subject there. But just to, in a nutshell, move your body, and do the things that that are good for your mind, body, and spirit. That is my secret. 20 years ago, that's my secret today. And God willing, if I'm around in another 25, 30 years, which I hope so, it'll be my secret then. Yeah,
man, absolutely. No, I couldn't agree with you more. I just today was talking with Mike Westerdahl, who's the founder of Critical Bench, and my boss, and also one of my best friends. We grew up together, and we were just talking about, like, if you don't move the body, what happens to it? It dies. I mean, that's why we sit so much as a culture, and it's the nature of a lot of our jobs anymore. Is that a lot of jobs require sitting. If you drive a lot, if you're on a computer a lot, whatever. And our bodies break down and become more sore and painful and achy because we're sitting and not moving. But kids don't ache. Kids aren't in pain. They're bouncing off the walls. They're doing monkey bars. They're jumping. They're climbing. They're running. They're screaming. And their bodies feel great. I mean, there's something to learn from that.
And another big point about kids. When's the last time I can honestly say, Chris, I've never heard my kids look at me and say, hey, Dad, we're going to go outside and exercise. No, they don't think of it as exercise. Adults do. You know what kids call it? Playing. That's the difference, and I can honestly say, don't get me wrong, I'll get my butt underneath a barbell squat and cinch that belt, but I got to tell you something. I look at it as an opportunity to go out and do something good for myself. So it's not exercise. It's exercise, but in my mind, it's something that I do, that I play. And that's why I love training 20 years ago, and I love training today. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And that's fun talking to a guy like you who's been there, done that. You've reached a certain level. You've been at this for a long time, and John Hansen's name came up earlier when we were talking.
That's my man.
He's just a great guy. We've done a lot of filming with him just recently in the last few months, and he's just top notch. He knows everything there is to know about bodybuilding. He does it right. He's just a super nice guy, and just great for the sport. So, talking more about this particular event.
Yes.
And you being a judge now, how did that come? Now you've competed in the same event. You've competed in it, right?
Oh, a few years in a row. I mean. First of all, touch base, a show in February that packs the numbers that Dana Snelson Ayler can do is very rare. The reason why most people don't have shows in February, no one's dieting down through Christmas and New Year's Eve. So the sheer fact that she's throwing those kind of numbers says a lot about the person that she is. I'll make a long story short to answer your question. I did that show. This past year was my third year, and I remember the first year I went down there with a big team, and everyone was just so nice and friendly. And it started at the top with her father, who is the president of the Alaska Bodybuilding Federation, Mr. Derek Snelson. He came down from Alaska, and that's when I met Dana. And I just thought that, when I was there, I just thought everyone was so nice. You could feel the authenticity and sincerity of the movement, and also of, the concern about the athletes. This was a show that was about the athletes. And don't get me wrong, you got to, hey, when we call your class, please be on time. But my point was, is that it was about the athletes. And it really, I felt good about that. And I have over the last few years, brought a lot of people down there because especially first timers, I like them having that experience. I'm very, very picky on who I promote for my people to compete in. And like I said, Dana, for absolutely, the Clearwater show is a fantastic show.
That's awesome, man. So cool that now you get to be on the other side of it, where you're actually, you're evaluating, right? You're sitting at the table in front of the front of the stage, and seeing who's come with their best physique, and
yes.
So that's so great. I think that's just great because you're going to recognize that obviously a lot of the people there competing have done it multiple years now. So you're going to feel right at home with all these people now. That's so cool.
Absolutely. I'm very excited. How can I say this? Being a veteran of the sport, I can see, the nuances, with the physique presentation, the people who have practiced their posing can hold their pose. I know when you're shifting because your muscles are clamping. I know when you're letting go early or you don't want to do a quarter turn again. Because, it's funny, in bodybuilding, I'm not the biggest guy. I never have been. But I got to tell you, the one thing, as far as the Clearwater show goes, you have better put your time into the presentation, because here's why. I've been at shows before, and I would see Adonis walking in. I'm like, oh, my God, that dude is perfectly built, symmetrical, yada, yada, yada. But then on stage, after one round of quarter turns, couldn't hold the pose. And so remember this, in any show that you compete in, it's not what you have backstage, it's what you present on stage. So, like I said, I've seen guys come in like, oh, my God, that guy is a beast. And then when I watch the video, not flexing his legs, not staying tight, and not holding the poses, shaking, looking like a deer in headlights. What I like about bodybuilding, it's not a big man's game. It's not a small man's game. It's the person that put in their time, posing, diet, and training. That's who owns the game.
Yeah. That's great. And we just did that's what I just did with John Hansen at the Powerhouse Gym in Tampa. We just did a whole series of videos on just posing. All the different elements of posing. He taught some great videos that are just about to start coming out. John spoke of his favorite posers of all time, and he spoke about how to go about selecting the music and the songs, and he talked about that, obviously all the mandatory poses themselves, and then it was great. And he, for a guy in his early 50s, who is kind of coming back into getting on stage himself later this year. It's exciting, and he looks fantastic.
Well, obviously he repeated the Mr. Universe title, and it's funny because he promotes the Suncoast Natural, and I was actually the overall winner of his show in 2015 down there, and I got to meet Mr. Hansen, which was, being a natural bodybuilder, and I always kid him and stuff like that, being a few years older than I am. So I got a chance to actually, meet Mr. Hansen and also compete and win in the overall this past year. So we have a good history together. So I'm looking.
Oh, that's awesome! Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it's always, if you're talking about natural bodybuilding, if his name comes up, then so be it, right?
Absolutely.
It's just the way it goes. So, just for anybody listening here, it's the 5th annual Clearwater Super Natural. I'm on the line with John Puskarich. Oh, I'm gonna mess it up.
You messed it up.
I'm gonna mess it up.
See, you got too confident. It's Puskarich.
Yeah, I got too confident. Man, that'll get you. And John, again, he's a new MC, the new head judge, and he is very excited, obviously, to be part of this experience, as he's been talking about. And you've competed in over 100 shows. And how many wins before we let the listeners off the line here? And how many wins have you gotten out of all these shows?
Well, you know what, first, before I answer that question, I hope whether they come to the Clearwater show, whether they come to whatever competition, whether the competition's on the stage or in their job, in their relationships with their kids, my competition is me, Chris. Right. My thing is at 50, it's funny because I am going to compete this year, and my mentality is as if it's my first show ever. And I train, I promise myself, you know what, I'm not going to be that 40, 50, 60-year-old guy. Oh, well, back in the day? No, there is no back in the day for me. So I want to preface is my only objective is whenever I get on stage, is to better myself than I was last year or my last show. But in 2015, I did say it was my pinnacle year. I won 13 titles last year, Masters, overall, Open. And I got to tell you, one of my highlights real quickly before we end this, talking about, just being natural and legends. In 1996, the AAU Mr. America was down in Fairfax, Virginia, and one of my idols, Mr. Steve Reeves, was coming back, because he was Mr. America winner. But anyway, Mr. Reeves and, the Steve Reeves Society was there. Anyways, Mr. Reeves himself was going to that day go ahead and pick the most aesthetic award. Remember the picture of him in the clouds with his hands above his head, the Steve Reeves pose? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
anyways, a highlight of my career is in 1996, Mr. Reeves himself picked me, for the Steve Reeves Aesthetic Award. So, that's one of the highlights. It's funny because, to be honest with you, the victories are nice and stuff like that, but to be honest with you, those are not the things I remember. I remember meeting the amazing people, people much older than I. I go to shows and, I'll see a 70-year-old on stage and I'm just like, man, you go. And that's my inspiration. I don't do it for the wins. I just do it for the progression and evolving that it does for me on the inside. So that's that's the honest truth.
Well, that's great, man. No, I appreciate that. I love it. Your most difficult competition is kind of just yourself, and
absolutely
just always trying to just one up yourself and go there with your best intentions and try to make each event kind of like it's for the first time,
Absolutely. And sooner or later, if you keep beating yourself after 25, 26 years, you're going to sooner or later land on the top spot anyway.
Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly, yeah.
I'm just going to wear them down and I'll laugh somewhere.
Yeah. Just, I mean, you love it. You're passionate, obviously, about it. In all phases of it, obviously too. It's a lifestyle. It's who you are. It's everything. So it's fantastic. You're not doing it just to get a trophy or an award or a prize.
If you're going into it's Clearwater show for a trophy or to be validated,
to win a sword, right? I'm doing it for the sword.
It's gonna bite you hard, man. Just bring the best you, and you know what? And not everyone's going to win first place, but you know what? That's not the point, just making it through a tough situation, dropping that 10, 20, 30, 100 pounds, whatever it is, you are all winners on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got to remember that. And if this truly means something to you, your time will come. Put your time in, enjoy the process, and appreciate. Oh, I gotta leave with this. For those guys that are dieting down for this show on the 20th, and for if you guys are continue to compete in the future, please remember that this is important to you and you alone. Your family, friends, spouses, parents, grandkids, while they'll support you and be there for you. You know what? They're doing it. They're supporting you because it's important to you. Make sure that you understand that, and make sure that you take the time to support, to appreciate, and tell the people that are in your corner that you appreciate them. Because I'll tell you what, as a young person, when I started this, you know what? You know, it can be a very self-centered sport, and it will eat you up and spit you out pretty quickly. So remember that. Be grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. Gratitude. Absolutely.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's a great thing to end with for sure. That to do just that, and it is a sport that's very much about me. So
yes.
But it does still require other people, you know, to help support you on the way. So. Well, thank you so much for your time, John. It's been an absolute pleasure.
My
I wish
pleasure.
You, nothing but an amazing night on the 20th, and that's at Countryside High School in lovely Clearwater, Florida, and enjoy it. And it's been fantastic. So all the best to you, and I hope to see you competing for the next few decades, my friend.
Okay, and you know, next time I see you, Chris, I'm going to ask you to say my last name. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. I'll get it. I got Puskarich.
Oh my God! Okay, we gotta end it now, man, because you're getting worse as the time.
Let's end it now. I'm getting worse as I go. All right, you take it easy, my friend. Thank you.
All right,
so
Happy
much.
New Year. All right, man. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye now.
There you go, guys. If you like that, you're definitely going to want to check this out. It's the 7 Worst Testosterone Killers. Click it, give us your email, and we'll send you a free copy of this report. It's awesome stuff in there. Now, if you're on a mobile device, you're not going to be able to click it. So what you need to do is click the little arrow underneath this video. That's going to open up the item description. In the video description there, you're going to see a link, criticalbench.com/bonus-video. Click that. That's going to send you to another page. All you need to do is send us your email. That report is yours. Guys, thanks for checking us out, but most importantly, we need you to thumbs up this video, subscribe to our channel, and also leave some feedback. We'd love to hear from you guys. Post questions, comments, whatever you want to do. Just post it now. Guys, thanks for checking us out.